A friend, emotive, competitive, reliable, athletic, bossy, organizer, mediator, a chatterbox, creative, imaginative, adventuresome. She was a techie. I remember one time sitting in the airport, we were about to send the kids back here to California, and she looked at Granddad's phone. Granddad, you don't have a picture on your phone. This can't be. So sitting right there at the table, click, 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 she took a picture of Granddad, entered it, you know, on the phone, and it's a terrible picture, but it is still there. She was confident, compassionate, determined, memorable, goofy, personable, relational, caring, sensitive. And these all beside being a wonderful daughter, big sis, little sis, and granddaughter. Going back to that one, competitive, I want to share one story with you. The kids have been coming to visit Grandma and Granddad every summer for at least the past 10 years. One of our traditions is to go to King Creek Park, which is very close to the house, to picnic. They have a swim area that's roped off. Just beyond the swim area is another roped off area for diving. This one particular summer, Caden was probably 9 or 10. That would make Sterling about 7 or 8, and Ashton 5 or 6. To get into the roped off area, the diving area, you had to prove you were a good swimmer. You had to swim from point A to point B and back again without touching your feet to the bottom, and just to prove your strength. The brothers, as Ashton would call them, the brothers did their laps, got their armband, they gave them permission to go beyond the roped area, and Ashton said, I want to do it. Ashton, you're not strong enough to do that. Yes, I want to do it. I can do it. I can do it. And so she tried. And when Sterling saw that she was having some trouble, he kind of bobbed along in the water beside her. Come on, Ashton, you can do it. Look, you're almost there. You're almost there. But her energy gave out and she couldn't do it. And she was devastated. The boys, the brothers, went off to the diving area. I went after her and just held her. She cried and cried. She was just so devastated. And she cried and cried so hard that she actually threw up. And, much to the delight of the ducks in the lake. But I just held her and consoled her and said, Ashton, next year, you'll be a year older, you'll be that much stronger, and you can try again. Next year, she was, and she did, and every year after that.
Okay, I'll take advantage of the little opportunity to share. When they came each year, this is just last year, we had a friend, we still have a friend actually, who had been out of work for a couple years. And it was devastating. He got unemployment for a little while, but he was in such bad shape, the unemployment ran out, his wife was going to leave him, they had about 10 or 11-year-old son, Ben, and what we did is we took Ben to the wild animal park, and she took very good care of Ben the whole time, and it was such an exciting time, and I'm sure Ben is expecting her to come in August. So his heart is going to be broken too. He doesn't know it yet. But when we went back home and dropped him off, we looked at their house, and their house was a mess. Their whole thing was, their whole family was breaking up. The wife and the son were going to leave and everything else. The lawn was unkept and everything. And Ashton says, let's go over and mow the lawn and everything. So we went over, Ashton mowed the lawn for him. And not only that, I ran the weed whacker around and cleaned things up around the edge, but she volunteer. I mean, she had a heart to serve. Most of us have this me, I. But when we come to Jesus, He changes our heart. He not only forgives us, but He changes our heart. And she had that changed heart. And so, you know, I want that. I want all you to have it too. So, yeah, that's exciting. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. My first memory of Ashton is the absolute amazement there might be another person in the world who had an accent like her daddy's. When my girls, I have twins, when they turned 2, Dave very nervously said, I've met someone and I'm still actually seeing her and she's not insane like all the others, and I'd like to bring her to the birthday party. What he didn't tell us until the day was he was also bringing along 3 children, Caden and Sterling and Ashton. And Ashton back then was, I think, about 7. And Caden and Sterling, they spent a large portion of the day following Cameron around, asking him to talk. Again and again. They hadn't actually found out at that point that I had an accent too. And Ashton said to me, "But you're a girl." It kind of became a little bit of a joke. So I'd see Ashton every now and then and I'd say something, she'd go, "There's that accent! Say it again!" The next memory that I wanted to share was, you might notice I have a rainbow on my forehead. They came to get another one of our birthdays, and somehow I got roped into face painting. And I was painting faces, and Ashton comes up, and she was not quite too old to get a face painted, and not quite young enough to, be all gung-ho about it, but she wanted to get a face painted, and she wanted a rainbow, and she wanted a happy sun on it. And one of my daughters, who hero-worshipped Ashton, watched all of this, and she'd already had a flower painted on her face. She comes over and she said, "Mummy, I need to get rid of that. I need a new painting." "Well, what do you want?" "Well, Ashton's got a rainbow and a sun and the clouds, so you want those." "Well, I can't have the rainbow. The rainbow belongs to Ashton." So today, Erin and one of my other daughters and myself are wearing rainbows to remind us that rainbows belong to Ashton.
I just want to share something that I wrote in class. Ashton's last name defined her, sweet. She cared about every one of her friends. She appreciated the people and things she had in her life. Whenever I was upset, she'd always come and comfort me and say, "You know what, everything's going to be all right, don't worry about it." The last thing she said to me on Friday was, "I love you, see you on Tuesday." And I never thought that would be the last time I'd talk to her or give her a hug or see her. One thing I will never forget is when she chose to play my part for me in the musical in 7th grade. I really didn't like that part, and I didn't have enough time to change into my other character, so she said, "You know what, I'll play your part for you." And I said, "Okay, thank you." And she also made me my first homecoming shirt this year. She came over to my house. She came over to my house because I was going to give her a ride to Krista's house before homecoming, and I was worried about what to wear. And she said, "You know what, do you have a plain shirt?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." She said, "Let me make your shirt for you." And I said, "Okay." And she made a really cute shirt. I wish I had it with me today, but I don't. One thing I learned after losing Ashton is that we never know when we can lose someone. We lost Ashton in just the blink of an eye. We must love each other and show one another how much we appreciate having them in our lives. We all get into little fights or arguments, but in the end, we don't want to live with guilt. Those fights and arguments shouldn't ruin our friendships. It should make them stronger. I cherish and treasure the friendship I had with Ashton. I miss her a lot, and I wish she was here with us today. She has a very special place in my heart. She was never rude or unkind. She was always very respectful and always smiling no matter what. I thank God every day for the people He has brought into my life. They have built me a very strong foundation. Ashton was one of those people. She made me a stronger person. Seeing her smile and laugh, even when things weren't going right, gave me hope, and I looked up to her for that. It took 9 months for her mom to carry her in her womb and bring her into this world in just seconds for her to leave. Her parents should be so proud of her. They raised a beautiful, smart, respectful, and angelic daughter. We all miss her, and all we can do is celebrate her 14 years, 7 months, and 31 days here with us.
Hi everybody, I'm TJ Miller, and I was a really close friend of Ashton's. If tears could build a stairway and memories a lane, I would walk right up to heaven and bring you home again. This is one of the most bittersweet events I could ever think of. Given the sense that we all lost someone that we loved. We all loved her and are sad because of the hole in our hearts and in our lives. The little things that like the angry chair in class, the missing runner in track, are the things that make us cry. We cry not for her, but for us. Tears are words the heart cannot express. So cry and miss her, but take comfort that this is just see you later, not goodbye. Yes, we miss her, but know she is in a better place and she's waiting for us there. Ashton was one of the greatest girls anyone could have ever met, and I'm so lucky to be one of the people that knew her well. Even those that didn't get a chance to meet her were impacted by her in some positive way. Just look at Facebook or the spontaneous memorials for proof of that. Her delicate footprints have left tracks on all of our hearts. That's what makes this so hard, so bitter. Like all angels, she touched those around her in so many ways, and we're just going to miss her so much. Ashton was sincere and open about her opinions and thoughts, and it didn't matter what you thought or believed because she cared, accepted, and loved you either way. Unconditional loving and giving was a gift that she showed me and so many others. I know she learned that from her parents' good example. She also helped everyone through the tough times no matter what was happening in her own life. Her unselfishness and willingness to help others no matter what is what people loved about her most. I know I did. Even in this tragedy, she helped 6 other lives through her miracle of unselfish donation, and I admire that specialness greatly. In her 14 short years here, she lived her life to the fullest. Track, musical theater, cheer, family, school, friends, boyfriends, volunteer, and work. She did it all on her own terms and packed it all in. I remember before I really got to know her, I would always hear her name because my friends would talk about her and how sweet and kind of a person she was. Because of my friends, that's how I met her. She came up to me one day and we just started talking. She was brave like that, and she could just go up to a stranger and start talking to them. I really love that about her. I don't remember what we talked about that day, but we just talked and clicked. I heard a quote that fits: you don't love someone for their looks, or their clothes, or their fancy car, but for the song that only they sing and that only you can hear. And I heard her sing that day. We talked nonstop and we just grew closer. We had a great time together after that, and I cherished the time we dated. We would think about each other nonstop, and I knew she was thinking about me too, which made me feel so special and lucky. I couldn't believe that she was mine. We didn't see each other much that summer because she was with her grandparents in North Carolina and I was in Rhode Island. We only saw her for 3 days. And I just knew how lucky I was to have someone like that care about me. And some said it was just teenage infatuation, but I knew it was so much more than that. She was my first true love, and I always love her and miss her. She was the daughter, the sister, the teammate, the friend, and girlfriend everyone wished they could have. I was lucky to have her in my life for as long as I did. I believe this is what Ashton would want me to read and believe. Love is no stronger than death, even though it cannot stop death from happening. But no matter how hard death tries, it can't separate people from love. It can't take away our memories either. In the end, life is stronger than death. I started this talk with saying that it was a bittersweet experience. We all went there though. But the miracle that is happening here today is the part that is sweet. Her name defined her, sweet. Look around you and see how many people care about you and her. We grow so much closer not because we are mourning a death, but celebrating life. A life of someone who meant so much to us. Ashton taught us so many things about life, friendship, family, and love. She showed us through examples about unconditional love, unselfish giving, and being spontaneous and insane. I think these are the qualities that made us all love her and the things that we will miss. But now that she's gone, we need to keep going on with life and yet never forget how that sweet girl changed us all for the better. You can shed tears that she is gone, or you can smile because she has lived. You can close your eyes and pray that she'll come back, or you can open your eyes and see all that she's left. Your heart can be empty because you can't see her, or you can be full of the love you shared. You can turn your back on tomorrow and live yesterday, or you can be happy for tomorrow because of yesterday. You can remember her only that she's gone, or you can cherish her memory and let it live on. You can cry and close your mind, be empty and turn your back, or you can do what she'd want, smile, open your eyes, love, and go on.
And I'm Allison. Okay, well, I've had a lot of great memories with Ashton. I've known her for about 3 years now. And, sorry. But she was just one of my best friends. And I'm so glad to have met her. And then there's this one time that we were making like French fries, and we thought it'd be a good idea to put chili on the French fries because they were kind of plain. And it turns out it was really gross. But we laughed about it, and we kind of just threw them away, and my stepdad got really mad at us. But it was pretty funny. I'm just gonna miss her so much.
It all started off with May 29th, 2011, which is my birthday. I didn't know such an innocent day can turn into such a tragedy. First off, I want to offer my condolences to the Sweet family and their loved ones. My pain and feelings are unexplainable, and I can't imagine how it must feel for you. Let me start off with how I met Ashton. 7th grade musical theater. I always thought of her as the outgoing one. Every time I looked at her, she would be talking to someone, and not always the same person. 8th grade was when we really started becoming great friends. I was going through some hard times in my life, and so was she, so we instantly clicked. We would spend weekends at a time with each other, and she basically was living at my house at one point. We dressed the same, our hair was parted the same, and we just did the things normal best friends would do. Just recently, I was starting to have this weird but exciting connection. I knew me and Ashton were getting so much closer, closer than we ever were. I felt that bond where she just instantly felt like my sister. She was over almost every day, and I can't even explain how much fun we had. We were like the Three Musketeers. It was me, Krista, and Ashton, and it was our 3rd weekend of us being together. We were definitely enjoying each other's company. I remember always making her laugh when I tried to shuffle when I was with her and Krista, and then she would complain about how much I sucked. I'll miss those nights where we just ate junk food, all-nighters, and dyeing each other's hair. Ashton was the sweetest girl I possibly could have met in my life. She always had a smile on her face and never let anyone down, and always put others in front of herself. She truly did live up to her name, Sweet. The thought of losing Ashton really hurts me, but to know that she has saved 6 lives is such a beautiful thing. I'm so proud of her, and I knew it's what she would have wanted. She was always a giver and never a taker. I feel a little bit more comfortable that knowing there's a part of her still setting foot on this earth. I know that Ashton's spirit and soul will forever be with us. Sometimes I'll catch myself talking to her when I'm alone and realize no one is there with me. But then I remember her and how she's hearing every single word I'm saying. Our memories will forever long remain within us, and I won't ever find someone like her in my life, nor will I ever replace her. She would always call me her big sister, but now it's her turn to be mine and protect me from whatever, whenever. Ashton, I will miss you forever, and my love for you is unconditional.
I met Ashton sometime in 7th grade. I still remember the very first time we hung out. We went to Pepino's with my mom and we both ordered Alfredo and took it home because we couldn't eat it. She ended up spending the night and we probably only slept for 2 hours. The next day we made my mom take us to Wild Rivers and we discovered an amazing smoothie there. Throughout our whole entire friendship, every time we found a good soda mix or a smoothie, we named it and wrote them down. Ashton knew me better than I knew myself. She was literally always there to listen. She loved helping people. She was even in the Wolfpack program at Northwood. There was never a time when she wasn't smiling. She also knew how to make me laugh. If we ever got into an argument, she would just text me a really funny picture. We would just laugh it off and move on. Ashton was an unbelievably amazing friend to everyone, even if she wasn't close with them. And she is also gorgeous, whether she knows it or not. Everyone was jealous of her hair because it was so long and she knew how to do the prettiest braids in it. We always got ready for dances, spirit days, and things like that together. Not only was she my absolute best friend, but family to me and my parents. And in the summer, we spent a lot of time in my dad's house with my friend Jessica. I don't know where she's sitting, but yeah. And I remember one time me and Ashton were painting my nails at our nails at my dad's house, and we did really cool designs and stuff, but we kept spilling all over his table. And then we thought it'd be a good idea to use nail polish remover on the table. And we took off the finish on it. And I went there a couple weekends ago and I saw it and I was laughing because I remembered, and that was just a funny time with her. And to the Sweet family, you raised your daughter amazingly. I couldn't have asked for a better best friend. She had great manners, was trustworthy, funny, and down to earth. Thank you for always letting her come over, because I would have had a boring middle school and freshman year experience. It's weird to think that one minute I'm sitting next to her and literally the next second she's gone. The loss of Ashton has taught us all a lesson to appreciate life as it goes by and live every second as though it's our last. She wouldn't want us to be sad all the time over what happened. She wants us to see it as a bump in the road, learn something from it, and continue to live on happily. She's looking over us all and will live forever in our hearts. Rest in paradise, Ashton Sweet. I love you.
The notes and the commotion, so I was able to put a couple of things quickly together. It was actually 10 minutes of it, so you don't have to worry about it. I'm making sure. My name is Michael Guiney. I was the father in that horrific accident on that dreaded Sunday. First of all, I want to offer my sympathy, my deepest sympathy, and my most sincere condolences to Ashton's family. And I also want to thank you for the opportunity you have given me to stand in here and convey some of my feelings. Today is the day for celebration, for appreciation of beauty, for camaraderie with our friends. I promised Lisa not to shed a tear, not to mourn, not to speak words of hate, but I've also promised her to talk about the horrific accident. The accident that has impacted our community so deeply. I've been getting slow motion flashbacks of the accident. I see the lights coming from the corner of my eyes. I feel the commotion in the car. I hear the girls screaming. I see the glass shattering, and I sense the fear in the car. And I keep on telling myself that, oh God, please don't let any of these angels get hurt. Please don't let me be the messenger of bad news. And as the car comes to this sudden violent halt, and I look back at the first opportunity, I knew that my wish was not granted. I'm not really a religious person, but I believe in God, and I know that our force is beyond our comprehension. And I know that things happen for a reason, and every one of us has a destiny that's already been determined. But oh God, as your humble servant, I don't understand the logic. I don't understand the rationale for this. Please help me. Please help me understand this accident that has scarred me for life and ravaged my soul. I pray that the suffering of these parents and the emptiness that they feel in their heart teaches us something. Teaches us on how to love and how to let love, how to live and how to let live. I am told God is closest to the ones with broken hearts. So I ask Him for mercy and patience for you. I've received hundreds of emails from people I don't even know, from South America, from Japan, from Argentina, and every single one of them is praising you and praising Ashton's spirit. I pray that your family gets through this. I'd like to read a couple of lines from one of the emails I received. It says, Mike, I pray that your family gets through this and moves to great things with Ashton's legacy. Ashton's mom is simply amazing to give back in such a tragic situation with what seems to be no time to even think about it. There's just no words to describe how amazing I think she is. I have kept my daughter up to date with this, and she nearly broke down when I told her about Ashton's organs being donated and the lives she was able to save. In response, she tells me, "You will do that for me, Mom, wouldn't you?" Well, Ashton's legacy is already inspiring 7, 8, 9-year-old kids. Lisa, David, the whole family, as a token of your generosity and as a testament to Ashton's short and sweet yet inspirited life, you rescued 6 families. May God bless you and your loved ones. We will always remember sweet, lovely Ashton. Thank you.
If I speak in the tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor, and give over my body to hardship that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails, but where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when perfection comes, the imperfect disappears. When I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put childish ways behind me. Now we see but a poor reflection, as in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part. Then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known.
And now these 3 remain, faith, hope and love. But the greatest of these is love.
Please remain, and we'll sing the last song.
Words to say how we feel, to share with everyone. Ashton is obviously missed. I thought she would be missed by a handful of friends and family, but she's going to be missed by a lot more than that. And I thank you all for coming.
Thank you so much. I just look around. I can't believe we are so moved. The whole community, this church, even the police department, their chaplain, we have been held up by everyone around us, the parents, Northwood High School's kids, but all the kids, the other high schools, this whole county. The kids are wonderful. Every last one of you is so wonderful. Don't let your parents hear how much you love them this way. Tell them today, don't wait until you're 40 and you're wise enough to tell them. Let them know. Thank you for sharing your Ashton with us. She shared herself with you, but your memories have given us even more to know about her. And I thank you for your time and your care of us.
Thank you.